You know, I don't celebrate daylight savings. It's not a holiday. It's gonna happen. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Make sure you subscribe and drop a follow if you're new to the family. But today, as you can see, I'm outside, beautiful weather, sunlight's out, fresh air, and you know, springtime's coming. And that's really what I want to talk about today. More specifically, when it comes to spring, is why you snoozing your alarm is killing you slowly, because it's ruining your quality of sleep, but also it's lowering your potential to have the best life possible. Obviously, like I said, springtime is coming, and on Sunday, daylight savings is going to happen, and we're going to spring forward an hour. We're going to get an extra hour of daylight. And initially, you know, you're going to feel more tired when you wake up in the morning at the same time. So let's say you got to get up for school, 6 in the morning. Now, 6 in the morning feels a certain way. 6 in the morning next week is going to feel a lot worse. You're going to feel like you're getting an hour less of sleep. And I mean, in reality, you are getting less sleep initially, but as your body adjusts over time, you'll be fine. And the reason that is because initially when you make a change, it's difficult, right? It's not going to be easy, it's not going to be comfortable, and it's not going to be fun. But as you continue to make that change more often, more consistently, your body will adjust and adapt. God made the human bodies in such a way that they adapt really well to change. Even though we're creatures of habits, we really do adapt to change exceptionally well if a routine is maintained, right? So why do I say don't snooze your alarm? It's ruining your potential. Because when you think about sleep, right, there's obviously your circadian rhythm is the balance of when your body feels awake and asleep based on cortisol levels and a bunch of other scientific terms I'm not going to get into. When you're sleeping, you go through what's called REM cycles, which are rapid eye movement, which is basically, sometimes you may have seen when people are sleeping, not saying you should be watching people while they're sleeping, but when people are sleeping, their eyes will kind of move rapidly behind their eyelids, and you'll start to notice that. Those REM cycles typically last anywhere between, I believe it's 60 and 90 minutes. You go through about 3 or 4 of these in a typical 7 or 8 hour period of sleep, which is why people who only sleep for 3 or 4 hours a night usually are okay for a while, but eventually you'll start to notice that their health just declines because they're not getting enough REM cycles per night to reset, recharge, and regrow their body. When you snooze your alarm, let's say it's for 5 minutes, 10, 15, whatever the case may be, by you snoozing your alarm, essentially what you're doing is you're restarting the REM cycle. Let's say it's like you start the dishwasher, right? Start your cycle. You start the dishwasher for 5 minutes, and then the alarm goes back off. You have to stop the dishwasher. You snooze it again, and you start it up another 5, 10 minutes, and you start it. You're going to do one of two things. Over time, you're going to break the dishwasher, and you're not going to actually get the dishes clean in that analogy. And the same thing's happening with your sleep. By you snoozing the alarm, you are basically telling your body to go back to sleep. You have nothing to do for the next hour and a half other than sleep, which is not true, obviously. You have to get up.
No sleep 'cause of y'all. Y'all not gonna get no sleep 'cause of me.
What we do is we snooze the alarm because we feel lazy, or we're like, oh, I don't want to get up, I feel tired. Because we're not getting the right sleep, we're not planning to go to bed on time, so that way all those cycles finish, so that when our alarm does go off, our bodies are actually rested. There's a bigger reason why snoozing your alarm is actually killing your success as well. The human mind, when it first wakes up, for the first 3 to 5 hours, is extremely highly productive and efficient. Because in those first three to 5 hours, your brain is working at the highest it possibly can, because you're fresh off of sleep. There's no fatigue from the day, nothing's bogging you down. And this is why a lot of billionaires and millionaires like to do their deep work early in the morning. They'll get up, they'll do a 30-minute to an hour, 45-minute workout routine, they'll shower, and then they will dive into their deep work for anywhere from 2 to 4 hours. They'll go have meetings, you know, their family will be up at that point. It'll be like 9 in the morning, kids will be up, take people to school if they need to, you know, you'll have meetings. If they have investments, they'll go look at those. They'll go do other things, right? But the things that really help separate them over the long term, they do in that deep work early in the morning, because their brain efficiency is at its highest. Now, when you snooze your alarm, you're essentially telling your body, go back to sleep. We're going through another REM cycle. And your body takes a second, once you've actually woken up, even if you snooze the alarm, to actually be like, oh, we're awake. So what you're doing is you're shortening your own window of high brain efficiency from, 3 to 5 hours to, maybe 2 or 3. Because your body needs an hour or 2 to actually shake off the groggy effect. Whether that's, you got to wake up, drink coffee, take a cold shower, whatever the case may be, you actually still have to wake yourself back up because you just psyched yourself into thinking you're going back to sleep. So what I want you to do is take your alarm clock, plug it on the other side of your bedroom, and then when it goes off in the morning, I want you to get up and turn off the alarm and start your day. So don't get up, turn off the alarm, and then go back under the covers because they're warm or you 5 more minutes, whatever the excuse may be. After you get out of the bed, that's it. We're making it. We're not getting back in it until nighttime. That's the only exception. And, you know, initially it's going to be difficult, right? Just like daylight savings is coming around, that first week is usually rough for people to get up at the same time they were getting up a week ago. Because 6 o'clock this week in the morning, well, let's say you get up for school at 6 in the morning, 6 a.m. in the morning this week and next week are going to feel vastly different. 6 a.m. next week to your body is actually going to feel like 5 a.m. this week. Because daylight saving, we're springing an hour ahead. Over time, your body will adjust and adapt, and it will be fine. The reason that I say make sure that you don't snooze your alarm, set it all the way over there, you really should be cognizant of this, and this is a great time to incorporate this with daylight savings coming, is because you're already making a tough change naturally with the world. Like there's no one who says, you know, I don't celebrate daylight savings, I'm not gonna, it's not a holiday, it's gonna happen. Like the clocks they spring forward. So 6 o'clock is just gonna feel like 5 o'clock to you. That's just what needs to happen. So since you're already doing something difficult, why not stack it? Start a good habit of not snoozing your alarm with something you're already doing that's difficult. You have to wake up earlier. Well, what feels like earlier, it's already tough. Why not work on also not snoozing your alarm? Take 2 things that you're trying to change, one that has to happen and one that you want to happen, combine them, right? It's just like people who say, I'm only going to watch my TV show when I work out. It motivates them to actually work out if they want to watch their TV show. It's kind of like killing 2 birds with 1 stone. And the reason that not snoozing your alarm is good, and the difference between those 2 hours of high brain efficiency versus the 3 to 5 hours of high brain efficiency, using the compound effect. If you ever read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, or like I said, the compound effect, here's how that works out, right? So we have person A. Person A snoozes their alarm, and you know they alarm set for 6 a.m. They get up at, I don't know, 7. Takes them a couple hours to wake up. They get to work at 9. That's already 3 hours that have gone past. So let's say from 9 to 11, you know, they're focused, locked in, efficient. That's 2 hours of high level work. It's not bad, right? And now let's say we have person B over here. They get up at 5 a.m. They don't snooze their alarm. They work out from 5 to 6, and they shower, and then they do some deep work from 6 to 9. They have a quick breakfast. They're in the office 9 to 11, right? So from essentially 6 to 9, those are 3 extra hours this person's not getting because they're still trying to wake up. This person can build something. This person can learn a new skill. This person can journal. They can use, they can read books. They can look over courses. If they're doing social media, they can edit videos. Like there's things you can do in these 3 hours, and they can still get to work from 9 to 11, and they're still being productive for the company. Just they have the same productivity level, but this person's building more things on the side. So that way, over time, if you take these 3 hours in just a 5-day work week, that's 15 extra hours that they're dedicating to something they want to build that person A can't even start. Over the course of a week, over the course of a month, that's 60 hours. Over the course of a year, that's 720 extra hours that that person has put aside to build something that they want to do or better themselves using that high efficiency brain timing. This person, they're just going to work still, trying to wake up, and they're just like, I just can't wait for vacation, right? So that's why I say when you're snoozing your alarm, you're really killing your success, because person B has had 720 hours this year to build something, and you're just like, man, I don't have the time. You have the time, you're just using it to wake up still versus build something. And that's why billionaires and millionaires are so different from a lot of different people, because if you think about those small changes, the compound effect says that small changes over a large period of time is actually a really big change. Let's say you drop a pebble in a lake, right? Small pebble, it's gonna make a bunch of ripples that get larger and larger over time, right? One small thing, big effect. It's the same thing here. So that's why you need to stop snoozing your alarm. And like I said, I challenge you, this daylight savings on Sunday, don't snooze your alarm. Set it up on the other side of the room. Practice getting up while you already feel more tired because of daylight savings. Just compound a positive habit. And then with that extra time that you get, I want you to try and get in a 30, 45-minute workout. It could be something super light. It could be something as simple as walking, right? Walk, shower, and then for those couple hours, journal. Read a book. Learn a skill. It does, like, you don't have to do anything that's super crazy, but try to do something that betters you. Invest in yourself, right? Because when you go to work, you're investing in that person's dream. They say someone who works for 40 hours at a company, or 40 years at a company, spends 100,000 hours at that job. I want you to think about that. 100,000 hours. So you've been working at a company for 40 years. They bring you a cake. You're like, oh my gosh, Marilyn, You know, she's been with the company for 40 years and, you know, it's just been a great time. Marilyn has spent 100,000 hours building the CEO and the founder's dream while they're off on the coast of Malibu on a yacht, living their best life. Marilyn is sitting here working on paperwork for them. Paperwork. Marilyn's making sure that the Jeff Bezos of the world are the Jeff Bezos of the world and they can go live on yachts and party and live the Instagram lifestyle that you see. She's making sure Mark Zuckerberg and Steve Jobs, she's making sure Bill Gates and those people, Elon Musk, can live the life they want to live. Meanwhile, she's sitting here slaving away talking about, gotta make sure we got payroll right this Friday. Like, no, bro. It's not cool. I don't know about you, but I can't sit with that on a regular basis. I'm not saying working 9 to 5 is bad. I'm not saying having a job is a bad thing. I plan to have a job. I plan to work. But it's not going to be forever. And if I'm going to build somebody else's dream, I'm going to build my own dream at the same time on my own time. But I have to manage my time to be able to do that. Right? So that's pretty much the video. Like I said, like, comment, and my neighbor's dogs be crazy sometimes. But like I said, like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, I'm Emmanuel here on iMan Lifestyles. Peace.
Always been a status symbol.